Shalom, everyone. Sorry I've been gone so long, but stuff happens in family and to yourself. Injuries, not able to work. So I'm back, and hopefully we'll be back for a while. So welcome to Truths in Scriptures as its return. I'm going to do all of the prophets, starting with Isaiah and go all the way through all the minor prophets. What I'm going to be putting out is those prophecies that have come true and those that will be coming through very soon. Basically, these prophets in the Old Testament knew what they were talking about. So I'm going to start each chapter. I'm only going to do it one chapter at a time. So each podcast could run 10 minutes. Some of the longer ones, like in Isaiah, could run a little over 10 minutes, between 10 and 15 minutes. But I'm going to try and keep them as short as I possibly can. So thank you for joining me today. And now, turn that down a little bit. Starting with Isaiah chapter 1. Hang on. Got to go get my scriptures. Forgot to bring them. Starting with chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Of course, this prophecy is already over. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for Yahweh has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. Now, in my scriptures, at the bottom of the page, it has some notes on there. So the note on this one is, I have nourished and brought up children, a reference to Yahweh's relationship with Israel. As a father that lovingly nurtures his son, Yahweh nurtures those whom are called by his name. And I stress his name. To add a little more to that, Psalms 103, verse 13, like as a father pities his children, so Yahweh pities them that fear him. Verse 3, the ox knows his owner, and the donkey his master crib, but Israel does not know, my people do not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, They have forsaken Yahweh. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should we be stricken any more? We will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in the vineyard, as a lodge in the garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Verse 9, except Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Yeah. Your witness verse to that is Micah 2:12. I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all thee. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. I will put them together as the sheep of Basra, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men. Moving on down. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our father, you people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, says Yahweh? I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of the goats. When you come to appear before me, who has required this at your hand to tread my courts, bring on no more vain oblation. Standing right in the middle of 5G Wi-Fi, and I still lose it. Okay, let's see. I was going with Isaiah chapter 1, verse 12. When you come to appear before me, who has required this at your hand to tread my courts, oblations incense is an oblation unto me, abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of the assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Now, in 113, the information at the bottom of the page, the new moons and Sabbaths, not Yahweh's observances. These were either biblical celebrations that were grossly modified to suit the worshiper, or biblical observances that were polluted through iniquity of the unrelenting and blatant sins of the rebellious worshipers. There's a quotation down there too. Your hands are full of blood. If you are doing anything other than the feast that the Father set aside for us in the time that we're supposed to be doing it, then you might say your hands are full of blood because you're going against His word. Verse 14, your new moons and your appointed feast my soul hates. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. A couple other verses there underneath that, I call them witness verses, that tell a little bit more in the description. Leviticus 23:2, speak unto the children of Israel and say to them concerning the feast of Yahweh, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feast. And in the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. In other words, he don't want to smell it, period. Verse 15, and when you spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Yeah, when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean, and put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. The witness verse is on that one, Leviticus chapter 8, verse 6. And Moses brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water. 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of Yahweh. Going on to verse 17, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Come now and let us reason together, says Yahweh, through your sins. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Verse 19, if you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. 20, but if you refuse and rebel, you shall not be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it. How is the faithful city become a harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. Verse 22, thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water. 23, thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Every one loves gifts and follows after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither does the cause of the widow come unto them. Therefore, with the sovereign Yahweh of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies. Verse 25, and I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross and take away all thy tin. Verse 26, and I will restore your judges as at first and your counselors as at the beginning. Afterward you shall be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. And this is what the witness verse has to say about that. Revelations chapter 3, verse 12. Him that overcomes will I make a pillar in the temple of my Elohim, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my Elohim, and the name of the city of my Elohim, which is Jerusalem, which comes down out of heaven from my Elohim, and I will write upon him my new name. Verse 28, 27, Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. 28, and the destruction of the transgressors and the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake Yahweh shall be consumed. The witness verse going along with that, Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16, the man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Verse 29. For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which you have desired, and you shall be confounded for the gardens that you have chosen. Verse 30. For you shall be as an oak whose leaf fades, and as a garden that has no water. Verse 31. And the strong shall be as tow, and the maker of it as a spark, and they shall both burn together, and none shall quench them. Back on verse 29, oaks, gardens, a reference to ancient pagan worship, according to Barnes' notes. Groves in the ancient times were the favorite places of idolatrous worship. In the city of Rome, there were 32 groves consecrated to the gods. Those were commonly selected which were on hills or high places, and they were usually furnished with temples, altars, and all the implements of idolatrous worship. Different kinds of groves were selected for this purpose by different people. The Druids of the ancient Celtic nations in Gaul, Britain, and Germany offered their worship in groves of oak, hence the name Druid, derived from the druss and oak. Frequent mentions is made in the scriptures of groves and high places, and the Jews were forbidden to erect them. Although some of them who married outside the faith wound up worshiping in groves with their wives or their husbands, whatever. And it was Yahweh's judgment against them to take and wipe them out. When therefore it is here that they should be ashamed of the oaks, it means that they should be ashamed of their idolatrous worship. And that concludes Isaiah 1. I'm glad to be back, and I hope to see people or be able to help people with what I have to say and proving that the prophecies are coming true. They are coming true today. They came true yesterday. They came true a couple of thousand years ago. The main one is still ahead of us. I think there's maybe 5 or 6 before the main one. But right now, the main one we're going through is this constant war that we shouldn't even be in, period. Israel is fighting to save their land against people that don't care a hoot about anybody else but themselves. And I heard a verse read a verse this past Sabbath that no matter who you are, if you remember Adam and Eve in the garden were of Hebrew blood. All their offsprings have Hebrew blood in them. Even today, no matter who you are, what color you are, where you came from, where your ancestors came from, we all have Hebrew blood in us. It may not be much, but our blood is their blood. Their blood is our blood. Y'all have a good week. I'll see y'all next weekend. Thank you.